Testup.io, the easiest test automation tool on the web. Mobile Android testing, using an APK and curl commands. Hello and welcome to this next tutorial of Testup.io, the easiest test automation tool on the web. In today's tutorial, we're going to take a look at how to run tests for custom-made Android and iOS apps, meaning that you've already compiled your app into an, for example, APK file and want to test it then thereafter and see whether it works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our documentation section, and here you find an articles for both Android and iOS testing. So in our case, let's go for Android. So the thing it wants me to do is first get the API key, then obviously compile our app into an APK file and then upload this APK file using a curl command. So let's copy this curl command for now and let's paste it into a notepad and let's check it out. So I need the API key. So I go to our app, and then within our app I go to our project, which is in this case the first project, and go to the project settings and copy the API key directly into the notepad. So there's a section here in the curl command that I need to replace with. And then it wants me obviously to use the proper name of the APK file. So let's copy the APK file and let's paste it in here. And now we've got the curl command complete. And now I'm going to enter it directly into our terminal in order to upload the APK. And now, depending on the size of your APK file, this might take a couple of seconds up to a couple of minutes. Let's see how long it takes me to do. It's now uploading the file using the public key or our API key, and it's going to return to me a public key that I can use in order to test the app then thereafter. So it is now completed and it has generated this key. So let's go back to our information. And the next piece of information is that we need to insert the appetize public key. So let's copy this here and start creating a test. Now within our project, I'm going to create a test. This is going to be a mobile test for Android, obviously, and I'm going to create a new variable, which is our public key. And in here, I'm going to copy this public key that I've received as a response. So this means that I'm using a virtual device that has my app already installed because it's uploaded and ready. So let's rename this to mobile app, for example, and let's run directly the editor. Let's see how it works. It's fetching again a virtual device, and once it has fetched the virtual device, we will hopefully have an Android device that has our app installed. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tap to play. Let's play it. Let's see what happens. It is downloading the app, installing the app, and the app is ready. Now, obviously, this is not a real app. I have created with Python and Kiwi an application, an APK file that works for Android and iOS, in this case Android, and this APK file I can now use to demo something. It has no functionality behind it. It is just a mock-up of a login page, just for me to be able to test this here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on username within the app, and let's type in Chris. And then I'm going to click on the password, and then I'm going to enter a password, let's say test, and then I want to be remembered because this is such a great UI. And before I hit the login button, now I see the full screen. I can basically now log into this application. I'm going to play this as a check. I think this is enough. I mean, I can log in. There's nothing really behind it. It doesn't really work. But this is what the application should do. It should then basically check whether this is visible. Actually, I'm going to extend it to the full screen to see that everything has entered. And with that check, I will basically end my test, and let's hit the done button. Now, this took me 1.5 minutes to create. And now as a next step, I'm going to execute the test. This might take again a minute or two. It will hopefully perform the exact same actions that we just did by creating a virtual device, starting it, hopefully having the app installed, and then running through the test steps as we have designed them. So it is now loading the app. I see the app loaded, and it is logged in and completed. Perfect. It took 18 seconds to execute then thereafter, and for me it took 1.5 minutes to create with all the explanations. With that, you've seen how to basically use your APK file, upload it, create a test that runs with your app, in this case the Testup app, it's not a real app, already pre-installed, and then run your test cases through them by simply clicking through the application, recording it, and then running it automatically thereafter. I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like and subscribe. This was Testup, the easiest test automation tool on the web. Please take a look at our other videos. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Take a look at our other videos to learn more about Testup.